Welcome back to the deep dive. You're here because you want those insights, those aha moments, without, getting totally swamped.
Exactly. Quick understanding, deep knowledge.
And today, we're diving into something super relevant for lots of people. Tracking weight for fitness goals, whether that's losing, gaining, or just maintaining.
Yeah, and it
Like,
sounds simple, right? But actually doing it consistently. That's where many of us, well, hit a snag. Busy lives, motivation waxes and wanes.
Totally. We've talked about journaling on the show before, how powerful it can be. Today, we're focusing that lens specifically on weight management.
Ah, right.
We're going to look at Lestallion's journal notebook for weight tracking. We know their stuff is usually pretty thoughtfully designed.
Oh, yeah. They definitely put care into their journals. They tend to be practical, but also just nice to use. So this one's aimed at making weight tracking more consistent.
Exactly. The idea is that a dedicated, well-designed journal like this can be a seriously effective tool, not just for consistency, but for making the whole process more insightful.
Right, moving beyond just scribbling a number down. It's about the whole package, the features.
Precisely, like the paper, the layout, little things, maybe like a table of contents, how that stuff can actually help you stick with it and get more out of it. Okay, so let's start there. Why is consistent tracking so important? What's the real payoff?
Well, think of it like navigation, maybe. Consistent tracking maps out your journey. One way in. That's just a single point in time.
Right, just a snapshot.
Exactly. But tracking over days, weeks, suddenly you see the trends or things generally moving up, down, plateaus become really clear. It also, importantly, builds accountability.
How so?
Just knowing you're going to write that number down, maybe reflect on what happened yesterday, it often makes you think twice about choices during the day. It's subtle, but powerful.
Creating your own little data log. I can see how flipping back, seeing actual progress written down over weeks would be, well, pretty motivating.
Hugely motivating. And it's not just the weight number. A good journal gives you space for the whole picture, what you ate, your workouts, maybe even your mood or sleep. Context.
Yeah, context is key. Noting all that stuff together gives you a much richer understanding of what's actually driving the changes or lack thereof.
Okay, so the why is clear. But that hurdle consistency, that's the big one for most people, myself included sometimes. What makes it so hard?
Well, life just gets in the way, doesn't it? Schedules are crazy. A seemingly small task like weighing in and writing it down easily slips down the priority list.
Sure does.
And then there's the emotional piece. If you feel like you had a bad day or the scale didn't move how you hoped, maybe even went up, facing that number and writing it down can feel, well, pretty crummy.
Oh, I totally get that. Avoidance kicks in. It's like not wanting to check your bank balance after a big weekend, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That potential disappointment can just kill your momentum right there. Plus, a lot of people just don't have a clear system.
What do you mean?
They might try to remember what they ate or how long they exercised, but without one dedicated place to put it all. It gets messy, bits get forgotten.
And if you're not seeing results and you don't have a clear record of your effort, it's so easy to feel like you're just spinning your wheels and think, what's the point?
Yeah, you can't see the bigger picture if the pieces are scattered everywhere. Okay, so bring in the journal solution. How does using a dedicated notebook, specifically one like Lestallion's designed for this, tackle that inconsistency beast?
Well, first off, just having a specific journal for this creates structure. It's not just any old notebook. You pick it up, you know its job. That sets an intention. And actually writing it down, your weight, your meals, your workout, there's a physical connection there. It feels more deliberate, I think, than just quickly tapping numbers into an app you might ignore 10 minutes later.
There is something about writing by hand, isn't there? It slows you down, makes it more mindful.
Definitely. And Lestallion seems to get that. They use, 211 pages of thick, wood-free ivory paper. That quality, that substance. It makes the act itself feel a bit more significant, less throwaway.
Yeah, paper quality sounds like a minor thing, but it really isn't. If it feels cheap or flimsy, you're less likely to enjoy using it, right? It feels more like a chore. And didn't you mention the cover? Soft faux leather.
Yeah, it has that nice premium feel. Doesn't feel clinical, more like a personal log. It can genuinely make the process feel less like homework and more like, self-care almost. And the lines inside, 7.5 millimeters wide apparently. Enough room to write clearly. Plus those dashed lines they sometimes use. Good for separating bits of info without the page looking too regimented.
That's smart. Some trackers or apps feel so rigid. Lestallion seems to aim for that balanced structure, but still flexible. And having space for date, weight, meals, workouts, moods, sleep all together, that must be where you really start seeing connections.
That's exactly it. When you use that dedicated space consistently, you do start seeing results, often beyond just the weight. You see your physical progress alongside your habits, your feelings. It really encourages reflection.
Like noticing patterns.
Precisely. You might realize, every time I have a really stressful workday, I tend to reach for comfort food later and see how that plays out. Or, wow, when I get decent sleep, my workouts feel way better.
Those are the insights you totally miss if you're just looking at the scale number in isolation.
Yeah.
It really becomes a tool for, like, self-discovery,
Yeah.
learning your own body's cues.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And thinking long term, Lestallion uses durable binding. So this journal isn't going to fall apart after a few months. It's meant to be a record you can keep.
Right.
And that built-in table of contents, that's actually huge for looking back, makes reviewing past weeks or months so much easier.
Oh, a table of contents. That is clever.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my uncle trying to track his marathon training in just a regular notebook. He'd spend ages flipping pages trying to find his time from 3 weeks ago. Drove him nuts.
Yeah, it makes a big difference in usability. Let's make this real. Let's talk about someone, let's call her Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
So Sarah's, say, early 30s. She's been on that weight management roller coaster for a bit. Tried different things, diets, apps. But the tracking never stuck.
Sounds familiar.
Totally. She'd start strong with an app, maybe for a week. Then life gets hectic. She misses a day, then another. Then poof, it's forgotten.
The classic fizzle out happens all the time.
Right. So then she finds this Lestallion weight tracking journal. What appealed first was just that it was physical, solid. Felt like she was creating something lasting, not just ephemeral data.
Like a proper logbook.
Yeah. And the layout inside, with the clear sections for meals, exercise, etc., it just clicked. It gave her that structure she hadn't managed to impose on herself before. She decided, okay, just going to jot down the basics each day. Wait, quick notes, even if it's just 2 minutes.
Okay, so she committed to the physical act. What happened then?
Well, she said almost right away, just the act of knowing she was going to write things down made her more mindful during the day. It was like this quiet accountability check in the back of her mind.
That makes sense. It makes your choices feel more visible, even if only to yourself.
Exactly. And as she kept it up, tracking food, activity, she started spotting those patterns we talked about. Like, she noticed on days she skipped her lunchtime walk, she felt hungrier in the evening and was way more likely to oversnack.
Ah, interesting connection.
Yeah, and she saw a clear link between getting enough sleep and actually having the energy to want to work out the next day. So over time, she started seeing changes on the scale, but maybe more importantly, she felt she understood her own body and habits way better.
Wow.
And she actually said that having the journal, that physical record of effort, really helped her stay motivated through plateaus where maybe before she would have just quit.
That's a great story. It really shows how the right tool can facilitate not just tracking, but actual learning and sustained effort.
Absolutely.
So for listeners thinking, okay, I'm interested. How do I actually use a journal like this effectively? What are the top tips?
Okay, number one, we've hammered this, but consistency. Find a time that works. First thing in the morning after weighing, right before bed. Make it a ritual.
Got it. Routine is key.
Second, track more than the number, like Sarah did. Meals, exercise, be specific. Mood, water, sleep. The more data points, the richer the insights.
Right, paint the whole picture.
Third, set clear goals. And actually write them down in the journal. Big goals, smaller steps. Makes them feel real.
Good one. Makes them tangible.
Fourth, review. Don't just write and forget. Once a week, maybe, flip back. Look for those patterns. What's working? What's tripping you up?
And fifth.
Celebrate the wins, not just the scale number. Did you resist the office cake? Did you try a new healthy recipe? Note those down. Acknowledge the effort.
Love that. Focus on the positive actions too. And you can see how the Lestallion journal supports this, right? The space encourages detail. The structure helps organize. Its durability means you can track long term.
Exactly. It's built to facilitate these kinds of effective habits.
Now, something we haven't touched on much is the emotional side. Weight management isn't just physical, is it? How does journaling help there?
Oh, hugely important. It's an emotional journey, for sure. You feel frustration, maybe anxiety about the scale, sometimes guilt. It's all part of it. A journal is a safe space.
Safe how?
It's private, non-judgmental. You can just write down those feelings, get them out of your head, acknowledge them without needing to fix them immediately.
Like talking to a therapist, but it's just you and the page. Cathartic.
Very much so. And again, the feel of the journal matters here. That Lestallion softcover, the smooth, thick paper, it creates a comfortable, inviting experience. Makes sitting down for that kind of reflection maybe a little less daunting.
That makes sense. If the tool itself feels good, you're more likely to use it for those tougher reflections.
Right. And processing those emotions, just getting them out, can actually lower stress and build resilience, which, guess what? Helps you stay motivated and consistent with the practical stuff, too. It's all connected.
It really is nurturing the whole person, not just chasing a number. Okay, let's circle back quickly to some of those standout Lestallion features that really enable all this. What are the key tools in the journal itself?
Well, the numbered pages. Simple, but so good for organization. Makes referencing that week in March way easier.
Right.
Pair that with the built-in table of contents. Now you've got a genuinely navigable record of your journey. You can quickly find specific periods to compare or review.
Yeah, my sister definitely could have used that. She was trying to track her half marathon training, remember? Always losing track of which week was which in her standard notebook. A TOC would have been a game changer for her.
Totally prevents that frustrating page flipping. And then there's the paper itself, that thick, high-quality stock. It means pens don't bleed through. Writing feels smooth. Makes it pleasant to use daily for logging meals, workout notes, whatever.
Good point. No one likes writing on flimsy paper where ink goes through.
And don't forget the back pocket.
Ah, yes, the pocket. How's that useful for weight tracking specifically?
Oh, super handy. You can tuck in your printed workout plan, maybe some favorite healthy recipes torn from a magazine, motivational quotes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I actually have a friend who uses his Lestallion for meal prep planning. He keeps his master list of healthy snack ideas folded up in the back pocket, so when he's making his grocery list, boom, it's right there.
That's brilliant. Keeps everything together. It really sounds like they've thought through the whole process, the practical needs of someone managing their weight.
It seems like it. It's about making the whole experience supportive, integrated, and, well, effective. Encouraging that consistency and insight.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, it feels pretty clear that using a dedicated journal, and particularly one designed with care like Lestallion's weight tracking one,
Yeah.
can be, well, a really powerful tool that goes way beyond just numbers.
Absolutely. It fosters organization, boosts accountability, sparks that crucial self-reflection, helps you spot patterns, and keeps you motivated through the ups and downs.
It helps manage the emotional side, too, which is huge.
Definitely. So you're tracking progress, yes, but you're also learning about yourself, navigating challenges, and building sustainable habits.
So the final thought for everyone listening might be this. How could truly intentionally documenting your journey, using a tool designed for it, change things for you? Could it unlock those deeper insights, lead to more lasting success?
Maybe it's time to consider what a dedicated journal like Lestallion's could offer. It might just be the supportive structure you need.
Definitely something to mull over.
Yeah.
A great place to leave it.